Things have changed since the last Apocalypse Joust. More survivors have made their way to safety under the bridge. But it's a more dangerous and unpredictable world. Natural disasters can strike at any time. It's still survive or be destroyed. Welcome to the Apocalypse Joust.
The final qualifier, 9 of 9. Last chance for 5 teams to escape their fate in the apocalypse and ascend to the main event. Let's take a closer look at who is competing. First up, the Apocalypse Punks. They've got survivors, they've got heavies, and a ramp. The Glamazons are a stylish team with some tricks up their sleeve. Fractal Panda's team has traveled all the way from Scotland to compete in this event. Polk County Diecast Racing is here with some heavy hitters and more heavy hitters. The Riot City Wreckers, they have some good variety on this team. They look a little beat up, but they're ready to go, and we are starting off round 1 with the random event already. The Giant Rat has taken the place of the track buffer on the track, and we are ready to joust. The Grr is up first. It's going to take to the track, knock that rat off the track completely upside down. Speaking of upside down, if a vehicle is upside down at the end of a round, it's out. We play until there's only 2 teams remaining in the match. Flatbed up first for the Riot City Wreckers, sponsored by Chris and Kat's Casa de Chaos. Flatbed lines it up. There is a ramp on the track. Let's see if it stays in position. Here comes Chewy Mandingo, 196 grams, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Boom, that ramp is gone. Chewed up by Chewy Mandingo, who makes a recovery after bouncing around on the track, kind of moving the track, bending it. So heavy. That was a nice takedown and recovery. The Queen's Ride, 187 grams, sponsored by the Test Joust series. This thing's got some big sandbags on the back, but nothing stopped it, and it drives right off the track, makes a nice recovery, and actually somehow keeps the sandbags on the back. Some fancy driving by the Glamazon in charge of this vehicle. Bigger Hitter, sponsored by Farty Marty for the Apocalypse Punks. Bigger Hitter slides into position, hits that safety rail, but has not too much trouble, actually almost tips, but sets up the ramp, and now the trouble begins. Hammerhead, the first one to take the ramp, sponsored by the Aardvark of Freedom. Hammerhead launches, flips up in the air, and hides. Can't see what happened. Got pretty high up. Doesn't look like it's made a recovery yet. Hit a height of 8, and then plunges into the depths, where it is stuck for the moment, sideways. Loader up next for the Wreckers, sponsored by Sloth's Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Loader cannot do anything to that ramp. Launches, flips over, does not make a recovery, gets stuck upside down, and that'll be a second loss for the Wreckers. The Tortoise King, 158 grams, sponsored by the Mad Brit King. Tortoise King doesn't quite launch as much as other cars. Almost looks like it's gonna stick, but it can't quite manage it. It does ramp, and then it looks like it is sideways. Without some help, it's gonna be stuck like that. DEADMAXX Revival Tour. Become a patron now and help me make a new season of Junkyard Joust. DEADMAXX runs into the same problem as the last guy, flipping over and going upside down. Never a chance to set up that ramp, and I don't see it recovering, but it is possible. Next up, Blood Brothers, sponsored by Torgoth the Infinite Horror. We've seen Blood Brothers before. Blood Brothers makes a nice recovery, very dandy, almost flips over upside down, but then turns back, makes the recovery happen. Great news for Apocalypse Punks. Flying Brick, sponsored by K&E Stewart Agri-Services for Panda. Flying Brick bricks it indeed, hits the wall, bounces back, no recovery happening. It's a height of 8, goes way up in the air, but cannot make the recovery happen, and Fractal Panda loses one. Tweaks the rat's tail as it lands. Steamroller up next, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Steamroller ramps it and doesn't make the recovery, gets caught up a little bit. There's a pile forming, it turns over upside down and out. Wild Willie G, 84 grams, sponsored by Coffee Run. Willie G also not able to set up the ramp. We're losing a lot of ramp cars in this round. It goes over sideways. It actually helps Steamroller make a recovery. Steamroller very appreciative of the assist. Mermaid Van, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. The Mermaid Van takes the ramp, has good luck, flips right over. Good agility right there by Mermaid Van. A lot of vehicles eliminated by this ramp, but not that one. Jack's Dreams, sponsored by Star Corps Industries for the punks. Jack's Dreams do not end in round 1. It pops up, bounces back, and makes the landing. Nice, clear place to land. That's what you want to do. Find a place to park and keep your team in the action. Orange Flash, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Orange Flash flashes right into the wall, flips around a lot, and doesn't make a recovery. That'll be another loss for Fractal Panda. And we've got a big pile forming. Mail Truck, sponsored by G-Zeus. Mail Truck launches and makes it happen. Look at the level landing it has. Just about looks like it might flip over, but it slides to a nice landing, full recovery. Shoe Baby, sponsored by Tribble's Troublemakers. Shoe Baby, 145 grams, launches off that ramp. Heavy hit into the wall, bounces back, not able to make the recovery. Hulk is gonna lose one. Bouncing Betty, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Bouncing Betty not able to ramp underneath. I don't think anything's getting underneath that creature sticking out of the Fleet Flyer. And Betty is eliminated. Loss for the Glamazons. Skelepunk, sponsored by Swamp Hobbit. Skelepunk and Skeleton go flying up in the air. The skeleton falls out. The car lands. It is upside down. Another elimination. This ramp is doing heavy damage to all of the teams, including its own. Red Rocket, sponsored by Judy Collins. Red Rocket launches, also taken down. We are losing car after car. This could be a quick match if this continues to happen. Taxi up next, sponsored by Shadow Wolf. Taxi launches. That was an interesting landing spot. It looks like it could be right around 45 degrees. If it stays like that, I feel like there's going to be a measurement. Big vehicle here, Iceman, 181 grams, sponsored by Beaks Busted Barn Finds. Iceman doesn't launch, actually manages to basically stop itself from taking the ramp, slams it slightly further down the track, and then kind of wobbles to a recovery. Can it stay there? Madam President, 167 grams, sponsored by Reaper EOD. Madam President is able to clear the ramp. Finally, something that can take out the ramp. Although Madam President is in trouble now. May have taken itself out with that takedown of the ramp. Although the ramp vehicle is still alive. Bloody Void, another big one, 108 grams, sponsored by Sicken. Bloody Void goes right past the ramp, slams into Madam President, and helps it make a full recovery. Great news for the Glamazons, and then look at the bus just go straight into the wall and sort of park itself there. It will survive the round. We are going to have a minimum of 12 eliminations, almost half the field, and we're going to take a measurement on Taxi, as I expected. 44 degrees at the bottom windshield, 45 up top. Looks like it will live for the next round. Tough to get a measurement on that one. Taking a look at the aftermath. Apocalypse Punks, only one loss. They survived their jump rather well. Not so good for the other teams. Fractal Panda loses 4 down to 1. Polk County 3 down to 2. Riot City Wreckers and Glamazons both lose 2 down to 3. Still plenty of cards in this match. It's still anybody's game, but guess who's starting out round 2? It's bigger hitter for the Punks. It slots in, and this ramp is going to be devastating yet again in round 2. Mail truck launches, no luck this time, bounces off the track, goes sideways. We know there's one car out there that took this down last round. Can Madam President do it again before it causes mass devastation? The Queen's Ride is heading down first. It launches up into the air. What a graceful arc. A pretty decent landing, but I think it's sideways. The bags come off. They'll keep Mail Truck pinned down. What can Chewy Mandingo do? Boom! The ramp is down! That vehicle somehow just knocked it over. 196 gram punch to the back of it, pushed it over sideways. Did not expect that to happen. The front of that thing must have just grabbed it and thrown it over. That thing is so heavy. Gerb bounces back, goes curbside, can't do a thing. Fractal Panda needs Gurr to stay alive, and that's exactly what it doesn't do. Blood Brothers takes it down, turns it sideways. We may have lost a team right there. Taxi tosses Blood Brothers off the track. Blood Brothers with a great balanced recovery and landing, plenty of space for it. Next down is the Mermaid Van, a big punch. Bigger hitter had a chance to recover, but couldn't pull it off. Flips over to the left-hand side. We won't be seeing that ramp again, I don't think. Iceman slams into the line, and uh-oh, look what happened to Chewy Mandingo. Flips over upside down. That is a team kill. Bad news for Polk County. They just took out one of their best. Bloody Void slots in and has no problem staying on the track. The line is tight. Steamroller bounces back, almost escapes the track, can't quite do it. And here comes Madam President to mess things up. Look at this. The bus is taken down. The Steamroller is taken down. Iceman is taken out, pushed beyond 45, and the Gurr makes a recovery. But guess what, everybody? We've got a
triple takedown.
A dynamite hit from Madam President, and now we've got a random event sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. It's Cookie's Whims. The limo gets sent down, and Iceman is tumbling over, taken down for sure. An absolutely incredible hit from Madam President, and the passenger in the back stayed in. Jack's Dreams locks it in, doesn't upset any apple carts. Not much happening there except Madam President's bodyguard kind of getting down lower in the vehicle. But the danger is over. That's the end of round 2. 7 eliminations in that round. That takes us up to 19. That means there's only 6 vehicles left, and we are going to lose a team. Taking a look at the aftermath, Polk County Diecast Racing had a big effect on this match, but got taken down. They will be exiting first. Apocalypse Punks lose 2 down to 2. Glamazons lost 1 down to 2. Riot City lost 2 down to 1. And Fractal Panda stayed in the match just barely. They will be moving on to round 3, which starts now with Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers careens off the track, almost escapes completely. The Mermaid Van spins Blood Brothers off the track. Blood Brothers stays upright. Nice balance, and it backs away to complete safety for the rest of this round. The last car alive for Riot City Wreckers. The Taxi slots in and stays alive for now. Last alive for Fractal Panda also stays locked in, and the Mermaid Van, a big chunk broke off of it from the impact. Looks like it was the gun on the front of the van. Jack's Dreams just about upends the Mermaid Van. It is about to go over. Can it survive the next hit? Before that happens, though, we have a random event for the round sponsored by Avery's Reliable Autos. It's a swarm of zombies. They are attacking the last car on the track. See if they affect anything. Madam President coming down now. Madam President clears the track. Everything removed from the track in one massive, devastating hit. Jack's Dreams hits an 8. Does it survive? It lands on Blood Brothers. Actually, Blood Brothers gets thrown up on top of one of the zombies. It does survive. Taxi does not. And the Mermaid does not. A double takedown, and unfortunately, 1 from the Glamazon's own team. So we'll end up with 2 eliminations in round 3, and we are going to lose another team and fall down to 3 teams. It is the Riot City Wreckers. They are out of the match. They gave it their all. Glamazons lost 1. They are down to 1. Right now, the Apocalypse Punks are looking good. And they will start us off with Blood Brothers, who has been instrumental in this team's success, getting off the track to safety as much as possible. Poised to go off this time. A big hit from Madam President. Look at how many times that thing spins before it lands. Blood Brothers lands upside down, taken down by Madam President. That car is a cold hard eliminator. The Gurr gives it a little boom, though, into the safety rail, and it bounces back, that implement kind of forcing it over for a second. The bodyguard is thrown from the car, and it looks like Madam President might be in danger in more than one way. And now we've got a random event sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. It's Cookie's Whims Level 2. A barrel is welded to the last car on the track. We'll see if this makes any difference. Only 1 car left in the round. Jack's Dreams. Jack slams into the line. The barrel makes no difference. It will be removed before the next round. Just the one elimination now, and these teams are all completely even as we head into the next round. The punks fall to 1. Here we go. The next elimination will end the match. If more than one car is eliminated, the tie will be decided by points. Madam President up first, zooming down the track, taking out the track buffer and taking out itself. That long metal pole on the front hits the safety barrier, bounces back, and Madam President kind of looked like a frog or something, leaping backwards, going sideways. That is unfortunate for Glamazons. And now it's time for the random event. Zombies level 2, no cars on the track. The car full of zombies smashes into the safety barrier. Doesn't cause any damage, except a bunch of zombies get thrown around. And the GUR plows into the car full of zombies. Stays steady, locked in. That may have helped not having to run into that safety barrier. Same thing for Jack's Dreams, and this is very bad news for the Glamazons. After a close call, they were taken out by their own devastating capabilities. An amazing car with a ton of takedowns, but Glamazons have been booted from the match. And we've got our 2 finalists, the Apocalypse Punks and Fractal Panda. The points will not come into play, and also the points will not be enough to get Glamazons into the wildcard spot, which means we've got our 2 wildcard teams. They are Jester and Smiler's Institution and Cookies Crumblers, top of the list. Those 2 will make it into the main event, where 20 teams will compete to make it to the finals, the very last event in this whole series. Coming up next Sunday, the Season of Colors begins here on Junkyard Joust. Don't miss it. It's going to be really fun. Right now, though, we got to hunker down and wait for the next apocalyptic storm to pass. Become a sponsor of Junkyard Joust now. Help me make this new season and get yourself a sponsored car. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.